A lot of us are still waiting on someone to tell us it's okay to start. And honestly, this channel is my way of not waiting for permission anymore. We've been conditioned to question ourselves, question our thoughts, question our ideas because it just hasn't been good enough. We've been taught that it hasn't been good enough unless somebody else signs off on it, unless somebody else has done it before, unless you have the approval of your friends and family. I saw a post the other day from someone on Substack, and she was basically saying that she wanted to change directions for her content, that she wanted to start talking about new things, but she was worried about how it would impact her audience and what people would think. And I was compelled to reply. And I'm like, just do it. People's timelines are flooded. No one's going to notice if you start infusing different parts of yourself in your content. And I'm like, let's be honest, the content that you're forcing yourself to create is probably not that good. Like, our best content comes when it's something we're genuinely excited about sharing. And so that makes me think about, when I stepped away from YouTube for over a year and then I just popped back up and here I am posting again without permission, without a whole whoop-de-doo explaining where you been, why are you changing? And it's like the more confident thing to do is just to pop out with your new stuff. Pop out and let people wonder where you've been and what you've been doing. Because if you lead with this whole explanation, you're really just saying, I'm not confident at this moment, and I don't know if this is really something I should be doing, and I'm hoping y'all are okay with it. So I'm kind of moving past that at my big age. I mean, I've been preaching about taking action, and the one thing that stands in a lot of people's way from just, starting the thing that they're interested in, taking the first step, is waiting for some sort of sign that it's okay to do and it's okay to start. And if nobody's told you just yet, it's okay the moment you feel it. The moment you feel like, or you get that download, it's like, oh, I think it'd be cool to, it's okay. That's your permission. You don't need like somebody, you don't need a friend or anybody really to tell you, yeah, it makes sense. And so I decided that I just wanted to start publishing publicly again. I really have sat back and looked at social media and what's happening with AI. And the the reality is that the personal human brand is king at the moment because, and I'm a writer too, right? I have a Substack, I have a newsletter, I write on LinkedIn, but so much of writing can be manufactured now, and people's trust levels are at an all-time low. Nobody trusts anything. I don't. I mean, I know I don't. I see stuff on social media. I see stuff on the internet. I don't believe nothing. I think it's all manufactured unless I see the person, have history with the person, believe the person. And so I really think that's where personal branding is moving. And it's like, if you're not creating a platform for yourself to share your ideas, think publicly, share your perspective in a way where people start to build a level of trust with you and believe what you're saying, I really think it's going to be tough for a lot of people trying to start businesses, trying to become entrepreneurs, and even in careers. I was watching something today and they were saying that um, it's even tougher for people to get jobs for that very same reason, that like so much of everything is manufactured and people just don't know what to believe. And the other reason I think you need your own public platform where you're speaking and people can tell you're human is because people don't believe what you're saying anymore. People only believe what they can see with their own two eyes and what they've heard with their own ears. Like, they only believe what they have went out and researched and found on their own. And so if there's nothing for people to find, they go with the person where they could find something. And that's for jobs, and that's for businesses, and that's for everything. And so I'm just sitting back and watching all this unfold, and I'm like, I better get my butt back on YouTube. I better get back to building my channel. And I just think it's an interesting time. It's a lot of changes going on. And so it's a lot of change going on, and I have a lot going on. So it shouldn't be difficult for me to sit down once a week and share something publicly, something I'm working on, a thought I had, something I learned. So I think I want to make it a hardcore challenge, right? I think we're about 6 weeks in, or something like that. And I want to try to go 52. I want to challenge myself to see if I can be consistent for one whole year, just to see what happens, just to, like, it's totally an experiment. I don't have anything in my back pocket. I don't have, anything pre-planned at the end of it. Nothing. I just want to run this experiment, see what happens, and then be able to share what I'm seeing along the way. And it forces me to practice what I'm preaching. I'm saying that you cannot wait until you have all the answers. You cannot wait until you have everything figured out. You cannot wait until you have this perfect package and it's all buttoned up before you do a thing. And so honestly, I really don't give these videos that much thought. Not that I don't give it that much thought, but I'm not overproducing. And that's because that's the kind of content I like to see right now. Like, I like to see people just yapping, chit-chatting, saying what's really on their mind. Like, I think because I'm questioning everything. Like, everything is just so fake right now. I'm like interested when people are being real. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here. I have a whole nother channel, the Prompt Life Podcast, where it is produced, and I don't want to say scripted, but the episodes are carefully planned. And that channel has a totally separate purpose. The purpose of that is marketing for my AI business. And so I have to approach that differently than I approach this. This is just my personal brand channel where I share my beliefs about how action builds confidence and confidence builds cash. And so my process, I've actually gone through a couple of iterations of my process, because it is at the beginning, right? Speaking, you know, speaking on camera can be daunting. And it's funny because on my other channel, my cousin is my co-host for the Prompt Life Podcast. And it took her a while to get comfortable, like, with multiple cameras in your face and like having to be on and still remember what you're trying to say and to get your point across and everything like that. So I know it can be daunting, but the act of showing up here unscripted, it's giving me a level of comfort that I don't think I'd be able to get in any other platform, right? It's crazy practice. It's giving me the ability to pick a topic, share my ideas, speak on it, for minutes on end, no notes, no script, and still be able to tell a coherent story. And I'm a huge believer in the power of storytelling. Like, you have not bought anything without being bought into the story first. And so I think storytelling is like the number one skill anybody can build right now. And so every week I'm giving myself the opportunity to become a better storyteller, a better public speaker, and just being comfortable in sharing my ideas and even thinking through my ideas. Like, sometimes I don't even have the thought flushed out, But when I get on camera, just speaking my mind and I watch it back and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that made good sense." And I know a lot of people are scared of like public speaking, but think about everybody that you admire and most of the people that you follow, they are great at public speaking. They're just good at it. And it's one thing to be able to have, you know, your notes and what's it called? The teleprompter in front of you helping you get through it. But it's another to be able to get on a stage or get on a podcast or go live and just be able to connect with people and help people to be able to connect with people and for people to be able to get what you're saying coherently and clearly. Like that's a major flex. And so what I've been doing is I know the topic, I know kind of what I want to talk about. And then I actually go to my AI and I say, ask me 20 questions about this topic. And so I actually use the question as the prompt and then I can just talk like I'm talking to a friend, right? You don't need notes when when your friend asks you a question. You just say what's on your heart and your mind. So that's kind of what I've been doing here. And it is light years better than having notes, light years better than having a script. And so I think if you've ever been someone who struggled with public speaking or sharing your ideas publicly, I challenge you to do that. And honestly, I talk to myself a lot. So it's like, I should be recording this. Like I'll see something, on YouTube or somebody will write a post and I will answer the question out loud, right? I'll answer the question or I'll say my comment out loud. And that's essentially what this is. It's just being recorded. And so I think, knowing that it's going to be recorded is forcing me to show up consistently. I've shared that I want to make this happen for a full year just to see what happens. Like, I'm so interested because I haven't really, if I look, I don't think I've done anything a year consistently in terms of my personal brand. Like, I probably posted consistently on LinkedIn. I think I did. I don't know, maybe 10 months, 11 months, but that was multiple times a week. So it was a little bit more of a grind. But this is an actual challenge for me. And I think it allows me to kind of practice what I preach. A lot of what I talk about on this channel is taking action, not not waiting for permission, building confidence. And I think, it's actually pretty cool for me to be doing that alongside with everybody who's watching these videos. So, I'm just interested to see the progression, like how I grow as a speaker, how my confidence grows on camera, and just to see like what opportunities come my way. Like, they always say that things come when you're not looking, right? When you're not trying to force something, that's when everything lands in your lap. When you're in flow, when you're not, you know, moving with, forceful energy is when things happen. And so I'm in a season right now where I'm already recording for a whole nother channel. I might as well have like a personal brand meta channel and get in the habit of that. I look at some of my favorite people, that I've been following for 5 or 10 years. And I am so inspired by people who they've been so consistent and they've been posting for years. And I by no means want to be a content creator. I would say a professional content creator where I'm creating content for the purpose of creating content. What I do is always creating content for the purpose of, you know, growing myself, learning some new things, furthering my personal brand or marketing for a business that I have. So I think, if someone is sitting on an idea and they haven't started yet, I think the first thing you should do is practice talking about it. And even if you don't post it anywhere, right? Even if you just whip out your phone and do what I did. Go to AI and say, hey, I'm interested in whatever. I love talking about whatever. Ask me questions about it. And just pop open your iPhone, record yourself just answering questions, getting in the habit of being able to articulate your ideas and getting to your framework. And I honestly think I shared a couple of videos ago that I made so many different pivots, but then I realized all the pivots always came back to the same thing. And I would not have known that if I didn't have a library of content for me to go check, read, look back into, basically a living diary. That's like, yeah, no, you kind of been saying that for years now, just in different formats. So I think if you're waiting on somebody to give you the okay to start, this is it. You can start today. And I know that everybody doesn't want to be an entrepreneur and they don't want to start a business. But honestly, and this is something I've been sharing on LinkedIn, I don't know if you have a choice anymore because employment is sketchy. The CEO of Microsoft just said that he thinks white collar jobs, like many of them, will be eliminated within 12 to 18 months. I think he's doing a lot with that statement. But the fact that that is a conversation that's being had at major corporations, people really have to figure out, how are they going to make money? How are they going to survive? It's almost going back to how it was back in the day where you had to have a trade, something that you woke up every morning to go do with no boss and with no guaranteed income. It's almost like we're going back to that. And so I'd say start thinking about it. And if that means you're posting on YouTube or whatever channel you like to post on, start doing it. Don't feel ashamed or afraid of looking dumb. Everybody has a day one. And you'd rather look dumb for just a few minutes. And then, once people really start to notice you, you're in like chapter 6 or 7. And the people who were looking at you and saying, she looks kind of foolish, they're still at chapter 0. They have done nothing. And so I wouldn't even worry about that. It's like, take your action, build your confidence in the areas where you could use some improvement. And once you're confident in something and you have built the muscle to take action, cash it's going to find you. It can't not land in your bank account because you have built the skills that pretty much guarantee an inflow of cash for you. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you love reading as much as you like watching, you can find me on Substack at Confidence is Cash. And you can follow my AI journey on my other channel, the Prompt Life Podcast. And that's all I got for you guys today.